Because they have not been able to grieve the loss of their child, many post-abortive women suffer from PAS, post-abortion syndrome, a form of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. This is documented in the book Forbidden Grief by Dr. Teresa Burke, also the founder of Rachel's Vineyard, a highly effective Christ-centered post-abortion healing and recovery ministry. Listen, if you're a pro-life Christian who just doesn't understand how anybody could have an abortion, you need to read this book. Pastors and leaders, if you want to understand what your post-abortive parishioners are going through, you need to read this book. Women can think that they're fine for years afterwards. They've stuffed it down. Then their coworker comes in all happy and pregnant with their ultrasound pictures, or they hear the song on the radio that was playing at the abortion clinic that day, or they see a kid in the park that's the same age their child would have been, and it all comes flooding back. Psychotherapists call that intrusion, and it's part of PTSD. We don't have time to talk about the other parts. Hyperarousal, always on edge because of some inexplicable feelings of impending danger. Or constriction, avoiding things that you otherwise would do, like going to baby showers or changing jobs to get away from that pregnant coworker. Let alone numbing the pain any way possible. Those things are all classic PTSD. It's the same thing soldiers suffer with when they come back from war. Ladies, if this sounds all too familiar, if this is you, there are resources at the end of this video to help you get healing. You can't do it alone, but you can do it. Please make that call. But what about the men? What do they go through? Do they get off scot-free? The lie in the culture is, her body, her choice. This is a woman's decision. Men don't have a say in this. Men are told, sit down, shut up, pay the bill. But the truth is, abortion is just as devastating to men as it is to women, both emotionally and spiritually. And there are biological reasons for that. When she's pregnant, as early as 8 weeks, often before she even knows herself, his body knows it. How's that work? Because her hormones are changing to adjust to pregnancy. Her pheromones are also changing. She smells different, and his body picks up on that. So his hormones begin to change. He gets cortisol, similar to adrenaline. It's nature's way of saying, pay attention, something important is happening here. He gets estrogen, of all things. He gets prolactin, a breastfeeding hormone. What's up with that? They make him kinder, they make him gentler. He gets vasopressin, a sexual bonding hormone. Why on earth would he get a sexual bonding hormone? It makes him feel attached. And his testosterone drops like a rock. Now it'll go back up again, but never in his lifetime will it reach the level it was at during his partner's first pregnancy. In his lifetime. Wrap your mind around that one, guys. So what's going on here? He's simply experiencing God's design. God is transforming him from hunter-aggressor into provider-protector. What's all this making him feel? He is feeling more attached to this woman than he has to any other woman, ever. And he's asking himself, could this be the one? Meanwhile, she has the abortion. Maybe he knows about it, maybe he didn't. Maybe he supports whatever decision she makes, which is the same thing as encouraging the abortion. Or maybe he doesn't even know. But in a normal pregnancy, the number of cells from the baby in her body ramp up naturally and ramp down naturally. In an abortion, they ramp up and then they're unnaturally cut off. So after an abortion, she actually has more cells in her body than after a healthy delivery. She still has 500,000 cells, 500,000 cells from that aborted child in her body, communicating with her about that pregnancy on a cellular level. So she's trying to move on and forget it as hard as she can, but her body won't let her. So what makes her think about it more than anything else in the world? Looking at him, talking to him, being with him. So while he's feeling more attached to this woman than he's ever felt before in his life, she can't stand the pain of being around him, so she drops him flat. She leaves the relationship she had the abortion to save. 75% of all relationships that experience abortion fail within the first month. Let that sink in. So while she's struggling with PTSD, he's in a downward destructive tailspin. Because even though his mind didn't know she was pregnant, his body knows, and hence his emotions know. And his spirit knows. Men are hardwired to protect, especially their own family. His emotions have been changing him into provider protector, and then the nightmares start. The shark eating the puppy, the train wreck he has to watch happen in slow motion over and over and over again. The terror of being responsible to avert a disaster and failing. The worst thing, the worst label a man can be taunted with is failure. And yet, when he looks inside himself, all he sees is an overwhelming sense of failure where self-confidence used to be. He knows there was someone, something he was supposed to protect, and he failed. So the self-medicating starts. More drugs, more drinking, more promiscuous sex. All of this is below the surface. He doesn't realize consciously this is going on. So he gets it wrong, again, and down the spiral we go. Men, if this sounds familiar, if there was that one particular breakup in your past that sent you down this tailspin and you don't know why, maybe you fathered an aborted child and you don't know it. But I've got good news. There's healing. There are resources at the end of this video that can help you walk through the healing process. But you have to be proactive. Make the call. Don't be silent this time.